Good day, everybody. I hope that you're well, and also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today we'll be doing our grade one English lesson on personal pronouns. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English language arts. Doing grade one, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to our chapter of personal pronouns. All right. So our chapter is personal pronouns. Our subject is English language arts. Our subject is English language arts. We're doing grade one. And the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of personal pronouns is to choose between subject and object pronoun. And we're going to choose the correct personal pronoun. So that is going to be our lessons for today. Choose between subject and object pronoun, and we're going to choose the correct personal pronoun. All right. So when it comes to a pronoun, right, specifically subject and object pronouns, And then a subject pronoun, it tells us who is doing something. So the subject is either someone or something that is doing the action. We're doing personal pronouns. Personal pronouns. So we say the subject pronoun tells us who is doing something. And when it comes to a subject pronoun, right, then a subject pronoun you usually find at the beginning of a sentence. Beginning of the sentence. That is a subject. It tells us who or what is doing something, that is doing the action. The subject pronouns, right, are words like I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. And like I say, the subject pronoun you'll usually find at the beginning of a sentence. And if we look at an example, right, our example says, I hug Rick. I hug Rick, which means that I is the subject. It tells us who or what is doing something. And the action is hug. So I, what am I doing? I hug. You hug Rick. But I is our subject pronoun. Then we have another example that says they help Emma. So they is our subject pronoun. Help is the action that tells us what they are doing, Emma. So they help Emma. It tells us who is doing the action. They are doing the action. All right. So once again, we said a subject pronoun, it tells us who is doing something. So subject pronoun tells us who is doing something, and a subject pronoun you'll usually find at the beginning of a sentence. And we see the words of a subject pronoun, or the most common subject pronouns, are words like I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. And then we have an object pronoun. Object pronoun. And an object pronoun, it comes after an action verb. So it comes after the action verb. And when it comes to an object pronoun, the most common object pronouns, there are words like me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. That is the most common object pronouns, and it comes after an action verb. And an example, right, where we show or we can see an object pronoun. It says Rick hugs me. So we said Rick, right? That's a noun. Hugs is our verb. Me is our object pronoun. Me is the object pronoun because it comes after an action verb. And if we look at another example of an object pronoun, it says Emma helps them. Emma helps them. So Emma is our verb, our noun. Helps is the verb or action verb, and them is our object pronoun that comes after our action verb. All right, so once again, we said we have subject pronouns and we have object pronouns. And we said a subject pronoun, it tells us who is doing something, and a subject pronoun you usually find at the beginning of a sentence. And a subject pronoun is words like I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. And we said an object pronoun, it comes after an action verb. And the object pronoun is words like me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. So that is subject pronouns and object pronouns. So now we have a personal pronoun. So basically, our lesson for today is, or let's say our chapter for today is personal pronouns, right? And a personal pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. We said a personal pronoun, it is a word that takes the place of a noun. Let's say, for example, we say Rick, right? We say Rick. So instead of saying Rick hugs me, we're going to say he hugs me. So he is the pronoun that takes the place of the word Rick, right? And we see the personal pronoun, right? It's a word that takes the place of a noun or it takes the place of nouns. And we can use words like he and him to refer to one boy or to refer to a man. So he did something, or it is him. And here we say John is here. John is here. So John is a noun, right? So John is here. So John is the noun, or it's a noun. But if we replace John, which is the noun, with a pronoun, then we can say he is here. Because now he refers to John. And if we look an example, right, where we use specifically a pronoun, then we say he sees you. He is our pronoun, and you, or vice versa, you see him. But either way, the word you and the word he is a personal pronoun that takes the place of a noun. You basically replace the noun, the person's name, with words like he and you. And then we can use the words or the pronouns. We can use the pronoun she and her if we're referring to one girl, we're referring to one woman, she or her. And if we look at an example, right, it says Kate is here. Kate is here. So Kate is a noun, right? And if we were to replace the noun Kate with the pronoun, then we can say she is here. So she is here. So we can either say Kate is here, and then we replace the word Kate with she, because she is the pronoun. Or we can just say she sees you, or you see her. And those are our personal pronouns. So we said that we use words like she and you and her as a personal pronoun. Then we go on to the next one, which is we use it to refer to one thing. So it we refer to as one thing. And for example, we say there is a rabbit here. And rabbit, so there is a rabbit here. So we can even say it is here, right? Because usually if we refer to an animal or a thing, we use the word it. And if we refer to people, then we use words like he and she and so on. All right. And then we have words like that says, we need to use words we. This is now where the plural form comes in. We use the word we and us for more than one person. Or we can use we and us as well as I or me. So I and me refer to singular, whereas we and us refers to plural. It's like a plural form. And we say John and I. All right. And then lastly, we say we use a they and we use them for more than one person or more than one thing. All right, we're going to go there now. And we say John and Kate are here, which means that we say they are here. That's now referring to John and Kate are here. So it's like saying they are here because it refers to both of them being here. Right? So that is personal pronouns. That is pronouns. And it takes a word, or it is a word that takes the place of a noun or takes the place of nouns. All right, so now we're going to aplusstudents.ca and we're going to choose between a subject and an object pronoun. So we're going to choose between a subject pronoun as well as an object pronoun. So subject pronoun and an object pronoun. And we see the subject pronoun, right? It tells us who is doing something. And once again, it comes or it's usually at the beginning of a sentence. And we see the subject pronoun is words like I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Those are subject pronouns, and you'll usually find it at the beginning of a sentence. For example, I hug Rick. It's like saying, for example, Nadine hug Rick. So if I am Nadine, right, then I replace my name, Nadine, with I hug Rick. So now our subject pronoun is I. Because remember, we said a pronoun takes the place of a noun. So you replace the noun, the name of a person, with the words like I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. Or they help Emma. That refers to more than one person helping Emma. And then we have an object pronoun, and an object pronoun, it comes after an action verb, after the verb. And object pronouns are words like me, you, him, her, it, us, and them. And when it comes to an object pronoun, right? For example, it says Rick hugs me. And we say Rick hugs me. It's almost like I'm saying, yeah, Nadine hug Rick, right? So if I am Nadine doing the action, I say I hug Rick. But now the next person, the person who I hugged, is going to now, for example, say, hugged me. So the object pronoun is me. Emma helps them, and our object pronoun is them, and it comes after the action verb hugs and help. All right. So this is basically subject pronoun that you usually find at the beginning of a sentence, and object pronoun which you'll find after the action verb. So we say, what did grandma send? What did grandma send? That comes send, right? We need to choose a pronoun, but an object pronoun. What did grandma send? You, me, him, her, it, us, or them. And we can just say, what did grandma send me? So we can say, what did grandma send me? Or what did grandma send you? Depending on who's asking. All right, so now we're going to our test where we are going to choose between a subject pronoun as well as an object pronoun. All right, so we need to complete the sentence with the base pronoun. Can you hear? Do we say, can you hear I, option one, or can you hear me, option two? Which one is correct? Can you hear I, option one, or can you hear me, option two? All right, so we can say, can you hear me? And that is an object pronoun. And we said an object pronoun comes after an action verb. So, can you hear me? So, well done. Option two is correct. Me. The next one says, my mother holds. Do we say my mother holds option one, he? Or do we say my mother holds me option two? So we say my mother holds him. And him is our object pronoun. It comes after the action verb, which is holds. He is our subject. All right, so we need to choose the correct or the best pronoun. It's either one option one that says they heard loud noises, or it's option two where we say them heard, loud noises. So it's either they heard loud noises or them, option two, heard loud noises. Which one is correct? All right, and if we were to choose the correct option, we'll say they heard a loud noise. So they is our subject pronoun, and we see the subject pronoun we find at the beginning of a sentence. So they heard a loud noise. Well done. They is correct. The children thank her, or do we say the children thank she? All right, and then here we have another one. We say the children thank. The children thank. Do we say the children thank her, or do we say the children thank she? Which one is correct? The children thank her, or the children thank she? So we say the children thank, and we can say the children thank her. And her comes after action verb. So well done. Her is correct. Here it says, do we say us live in Texas option one, or do we say we live in Texas option two? Which one is correct? Us live in Texas option one. right, so now we say us live in Texas, or do we say option two, we live in Texas? All right, and we said we. It refers to more than one person live in Texas. We live in Texas. And we is our subject pronoun. Remember, we said that when we have our word that is in the beginning of a sentence, then it is a subject pronoun. And a word that is at the end of the sentence or after an action verb, basically, right? That word is that is an object pronoun. An object pronoun you'll find after an action verb. And then we say, do we say him wins the game? Or do we say he wins the game? Option one wins the game, or option two wins the game. All right. And then lastly, we can say him wins the game, or do we say he wins the game? Him wins the game, option one, or do we say he wins the game, option two? So him wins the game, option one, or him or he wins the game, option two. And if we were to choose the correct one, we will say he wins the game. So lastly, we say he wins the game. And remember, we said a subject pronoun we find at the beginning of a sentence, whereas an object pronoun you'll find after an action verb in a sentence. All right, so this is now the end of our lesson on pronouns, personal pronouns. We made mention of subject pronoun and object pronoun. We said a subject pronoun, right? It usually comes at the beginning of a sentence, or the start of a sentence, and it tells us who is doing something or doing the action. And then we have an object pronoun, and an object pronoun comes after an action verb within a sentence. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on personal pronouns. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining the class. Thank you for interacting. Until next time, you must have a good evening further. Goodbye.